Hi, I'm Will Altizer. I'm a friend of Team Dreadnaught. I used to play against them in their local store before I moved away for reasons. Love you too, Brandon. This is the Oracle Think Tank deck I've been playing for a lot of the summer. I think I've gotten good results with it.
You got top 16 with ARG?
Top 16 at ARG. I swear that happened.
I swear that happened. You check it from the record.
This is going to make up for the deck profile that I didn't get uploaded from them because I looked like a crazy person on camera, but that's fine. So the starter I use is Little Witch Lulu.
Move it up. Keep it about here.
His first deck profile, people.
Yeah. Little Witch Lulu. She comes out of the soul when I play a grade 3 or a grade 4, because sometimes that'll happen. I can Soul Blast 2 Oracle Think Tank and draw a card when that happens. She's a +2. You just have to wait for it, unlike most starters.
It protects her from a lot of retiring.
12 criticals. I like 4 Psychic Bird because they move into the soul. The others are just 5Ks. I would play the Magus critical that lets me check the top card, but Magus doesn't have 10K at grade 2, so I don't play that. I'd play
non-Magus life.
4 Battle Sister Chai. I play her instead of Lozenge Magus.
I guess I put them about right here. Right over Chrono's face.
Okay.
Put them just a tiny bit too low.
4 Battle Sister Chai. I like her because she doesn't go back into the deck. Since I am using Sakuya as grade 3, I will call triggers to the field pretty often before I ride the grade 3 and just return them to my hand. So I don't want to lose the cards for doing that. At grade 1, I've got 4 of the new Perfect Guards. I'm not too worried about the Cross or Commander Laurel. In a lot of those situations, I've got enough grade 0s in my hand, enough cards in my hand to just block it the regular way if I have to. And I find the unflip of damage very useful in the deck. I play 8 8K grade 1s. This ties in with Tom, Silent Tom. I like having the ability to always have an 8K booster for Tom. I can also call them behind and in front of each other to make a 16 column. Most 8 8K grade 1s, most of my boosters will always be that unless I call my single Stride Enabler. I just think it's really great that I can always count on finding a grade 1 with a top check of Takemikazuchi later. But because I'm playing so many grade 1s, I'm almost always going to ride one that lets me block a lot of early attacks from 7Ks boosted by 5Ks with just 110 shield. And that's part of why I'm playing Sakuya instead of Coco. With Coco, what I found was that I was going to have to decide very early on between my grade 3s, because with Coco I want to eat the damage, whereas with Susanoo I could block it. But with the 8Ks and then the 10K that I'll get to in a minute, I can just block all the way up to 3, regardless of which grade 3 I'm going to end up on. So, at grade 2 I am playing 4 10K grade 2s. I go with Battle Sister Tart because she's still in the sleeves from when this was a Battle Sister deck months and months and months ago.
Convenience. Convenience.
4 Silent Tom. Silence of the Toms. He makes the deck.
Silent.
I work with a guy named Tom who looks a lot like that, and I've been trying to get him to wear a hat like that, but he won't do it.
Oh, God. Rock a fedora.
If you want to stop Silent Tom, you've got to bring a fine lady, but don't bring your zeros because they're not going to help.
Oh!
3 Diviner Kuroi Kazuchi. He sort of cuts into the counterblast that I would use with Takemikazuchi or Susanoo, but if I am on Sakuya, then he puts cards in my hand, eats up some of the unspent counterblast. I could replace him with something else. I used Ramune for a minute.
More vanillas, obviously.
More vanillas, I could do that. I've thought about 11K attackers if I ever wanted to call Lulu behind one of the rearguard columns, but I just don't typically do that, so it's not a huge problem. At grade 3, I've got 4 Supreme Heavenly Battle Deity Susanoo, and I'll typically ride him at some point during the game, either as a first ride or a later ride to get an 11K base. And to check the top 2 on Stride, you'll counterblast 1, check the top 2, and put 1 in your hand. His GB2 effect gives him 5,000 and a critical if I have 4 or more cards in hand. Just like Amaterasu's effect, from the early days. This is a continuous, so even if you start your drive checks with 2 cards in hand, you'll get to 4 by the end of it and get the effect. He can be useful in situations like against Zach Sglendio's deck earlier today,
Thank you.
when I wanted to keep him away from 5 damage when he could have won by Omega looping me.
Yes.
What hates that card? Everyone hates that card.
The
You
great
guys just don't like it.
No.
great
My
thing
one
that I've
fan
really
is
been
gone.
enjoying is
I bet.
Sakuya. She
That
gives
was a
me
one
a
thing.
different early game look than most Oracle decks because I can call whatever garbage I have in my hand and just put it back, fix my columns. She also helps out a lot in Link Joker situations. I can get everything off the field, or against Retire. I can get things off the field before they die. And if someone tries to hide on grade 2 for a turn or two, she is a 14k attacker. I can keep my field empty, or mostly empty, and still swing for 14k against them. And I do play 1 copy of CEO Amaterasu. That's just to have the 13-11-9 ratios for consistent riding. This is my SP card, the only SP I own. And she can be useful because she still checks the top. She doesn't care about limit break or generation break, and I can still find criticals and put them on silent down. And I like her more than anything else I could be playing, also because she's a 10k base, and that ties in with the 2 copies of Rain Element Madu that I like to use. One of my favorite plays is to ride my 10k and bounce everything, stride with a Susanoo, and then the next turn I can ride a Susanoo and stride with a different thing for more card draw. It doesn't typically hurt late game if I am on Susanoo because they're already going to have to block the attack, so it just doesn't matter if they have to block the attack anyway. I mean, Kieran wasn't going to hit, so I'm not really losing any card advantage by not doing that. And so, spoiler alert, there are 2 Kierans. That'll be my first stride if I'm on Susanoo. On hit, I can check the top 2 cards of the deck for free and put 1 in my hand and the rest on the bottom. And then the last 4 strides are Sword Deity of the Thunderbreak, Taki Mikazuchi, Counterblast 2 and G-Flip, check the top 4 and put 2 in my hand, put the rest on the bottom, and I can typically get 2 uses of him every game with the unflip perfect guards and just with careful use of the counterblast and damage. But that's the whole deck. As was mentioned, I was able to make top 16 at ARG Nats with it. I took 2nd at Origins Game Fair in Columbus, Ohio with something very similar. And, you know, I've been playing it at locals and it does very well. Today I went 2-2, and I'd really love to chalk that up to just the best of 1 format that I don't really care for, but I did get hit with triggers, and I did get outplayed in a couple games, and I went 2-2 with it. So I'll probably keep playing it for a few more months until Oracles get some more support or until I get completely sick of it.
5.
There you go. So we should be getting some more next year.
That'll be fun.
All right. Thank you so much, Will. Guys, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Look out for more matches from Will. We have a couple pre-recorded, and we'll get them up soon. Thank you guys, and see you guys later.